Welcome this morning reflection. Be blessed as you join us. This morning we'll be reading the book of First Samuel 16, verse 5 to 13. And it said, "In peace I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Consecrate yourself and come with me to the sacrifice." And he also consecrated Jesse and his sons and invited them to the sacrifice. And so it happened, when they had come, he looked at Eliab, the eldest son, and thought, "Surely the Lord's anointed is before him." But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not look at his appearance or the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. For the Lord sees not as the man sees. For the man look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Now, let me begin to dissect it before we get to the final verse. This was God trying to find a man worthy to rule over Israelites after Saul. This was God looking for a man who will stand in the gap of his family and in the gap between him and his family. This was God looking for a man who will stand out to represent or to be an intercessor for his family and God, for his business and God, for Nigeria and God. This was God searching for a man. Now he says something. "I'm not seeking for someone big or huge. I'm not seeking for someone who have wealth. I'm not seeking for someone who has influence. I'm not looking for someone who I'm not looking for someone that the eyes of men can easily say is worthy of it, because I, the Lord, does not see as men do see. I, the Lord, does not see." This is God seeking for a man to represent him. This is God seeking for a man to represent him. Looking for a man to represent him. Now let's read down. And he said, then Jesse called Abinadab, and he had him pass before Samuel. And Samuel said, "The Lord has not chosen this one either." Next, Jesse brought Shema passed by, and Samuel said, "The Lord has not chosen either." Then Jesse had 7 sons pass before Samuel. But Samuel said to Jesse, "The Lord has not chosen any of these." Then Samuel said to Jesse, Are all your sons here? Are all your sons here? Now, it is your service. It is your service, both to God and to humanity, will make God ask this question. When it comes to search for you to bless you, when it comes to search for you to make you a king that you are. Now, God asking this question is because of the service a man has rendered. Is this all you've got? Is this all of your sons? And Jesse replied, "There is one left, the youngest. He is tending the sheep." Listen, I want to say this. Jesse brought us his 7 sons. Now, let's imagine it in these modern days that someone came to visit in an early morning like this, and you met 7 young men still at home, not being useful to humanity, not being useful to God, not being useful to humanity, not being useful to God, no place of service, no place of service. How will you rate the person? How will you see the person? 7 grown-ups still at home doing nothing. But the youngest is at a place doing a diligent service, tending at the sheep, tending at the sheep. He is tending the sheep. Samuel said, send a word and bring him, because we will not sit down to eat the sacrifice meal until he comes here. Until he comes here. It is your service that brings you to the place of kingship. It was how David was doing his service when he was taking care of the sheep, made him qualified to take care of God's people when he became a king. When he became a king, the Bible says, be you faithful in the little things. He said, those that are faithful in the little things shall be faithful in the big ones. Those that are faithful in the little things shall be faithful in the big ones. Let's read the book of Matthew 13, verse 6 to 9. Luke 13, verse 6 to 9. And then he told them the parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came looking for the fruit on it, but did not find any. That is God. It's just like God asking for where you serve. Where do you serve? What is your service? What is your service? And they look all around. You were not found anywhere serving diligently. You were not found anywhere serving diligently. Now look at what happens to whosoever does not have a place of serving. You see, and he told them, and so he said to the vine dresser, see here, for these 3 years I have come looking for fruit on this fig tree, and I have found none. Cut it down. That means whatever that is not producing result. Remember the story of the master and the servant, which was given 5 talents, 3 talents, and 1 talent. One who was hidden and said, I will collect it from you and give it to those who value it. That means if you were not serving, God will still find someone who will serve genuinely. Who will serve genuinely. The 7 brothers were at home in a broad daylight, doing nothing, not serving anywhere, not serving anywhere. Please don't be passive about serving. 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 Let's look at John 13:14. Book of John 13 and verse 14 of it. And if then your Lord and teacher has washed your feet, you ought, it is your duty, you are under obligation, you owe it to what others. That means if I, the Lord, this Jesus speaking to his disciples after he has washed their legs, he said, if I, your master, have served you, even as your master, that you are ought to be found serving. That you are ought to be found serving. You are ought to be found serving. So when we are talking about serving, it doesn't matter your capacity as a human being. It doesn't matter whether you are rich or poor, whether you are the head or you are the tail, whether you are the biggest in the house or the smallest. Everybody is bound to serving. Everybody is bound to serving. What David was doing in the wilderness was what established, what exalted him to being a king. That means the days of his wilderness was his preparation for the days ahead when he will become a king. Now, my question to a lot of you believers is, what are you doing now? What are you doing now in your wilderness days? What are you doing now in your wilderness days? What are you doing now in your wilderness days? What are you doing now in your wilderness days? What are you doing now? Let the name of the Lord be praised. That we will find ourselves serving, not just serving, but serving diligently, serving with instructions, serving with obedience, serving with integrity, serving with humility, serving with all honesty and trustworthy.